Hi folks, this is Karen Tax from the I Am Learning community with my first video blog for 2014. I want to talk with you about picking a word or theme for the year, which is something that I've done for 4 years now and have found to be extremely powerful. The instructions on how to do that are down below this video, so I won't go over that here, but I really encourage you to do this. So my word for 2013 last year was magic, and I expected big things from this year, magical things to happen in 2013, and indeed this word did rock my world. I had lots of big things happen last year, but not what I expected. The plans that I had and tried to execute, many of those didn't happen, while in a way I wanted or expected, but the things that I hadn't planned on and really ran with, just allowed myself to go with, turned out really well. So it was this interesting dichotomy between planning and expectations and the reality that happened. So I know intellectually that you make a plan and who knows what's going to happen, right? But learning how to live that in a way where you really go with the flow and allow the things that you want in your life to come to you, I reached a whole new level of that in 2013. So here's what I learned. Everything that I tried to project plan became way more effort than I wanted it to be, and it kind of sputtered along. An example of this was there were a couple of coaching groups that I tried to launch that didn't really turn out the way I had expected. Things happened, but not what I expected. But then everything that I followed because it was fun or creative flourished. And an example of that was the Personal Power Pathway collaboration that I did, and also some executive client work that I did that turned out really well. So what I found was that the I Am Way and the I Am Maps were really great for guiding me forward, and that worked really, really well. So I went from idea to focus to support, a la the I Am Way, and when I took authentic action and then let go, that's when things really happened beautifully. So at the deepest level of my being, what I discovered was the limitations of my mind, my thinking. And what I ran up against was expectations that I was still holding on to from society, for example, like success should look like this or that. I found myself still in this process of letting go of cause and effect and what that looks like. It's a process to really learn how to do this. And it's funny because I spoke about this in my learning from 2012. The learning continued. What I realized is that you can't think your way forward, and how you get from point A to point B, it's beyond my mind. It's beyond what I can think about. It's beyond what I can conceive. So you do start with an idea or a word or a theme for the year, and that's a very powerful foundation to lay. And then you want to have some sort of focus or purpose that you're moving toward that's included in the word or the intention. And then you want to bring in passion and heart and connection with others into that process. And what I really made a choice about that worked really well was to allow myself to rest into a feeling of abundance and appreciation for everything I already have, and to enjoy that. And that's when things really started to happen. That was really key. So my word for 2014 is really an extension or a continuation of this conversation that I've had with my soul each time I pick a word or a theme for the year. So magic was an intention for things to happen in a way that were beyond cause and effect, bumped up against my mind. If I'm going to let go of that control that my mind has on this process of creating what I want in my life, then what is next is to rest into my wholeness, which is my word for 2014. I see wholeness as what is behind or beyond my mind. It's my whole being, much more than just my mind. And I think of it as tapping into universal intelligence, so that no matter what's happening, I know that I'm doing it right. I know that everything is unfolding perfectly. I'm not trying to overthink what's going on, and it's happening perfectly whether I like it or not. So the key is to have no resistance or no judgment about what's happening and just keep flowing with it. So at this point, I'm noticing where I'm still striving or waiting and moving into a place of what I want is now. It's happening now. I don't have to wait. I just see what's happening in my life, and I can see evidence of everything I want right there. And I just then allow the bigger pieces to come into play. What's interesting is that I took this big rest or vacation over the transition from last year to this year, and all kinds of things happened when I took a break, to the point that I already have reached my financial goals for 2014. It's kind of crazy, but this is great. I have clients and collaborators who are living the new way that we want to be creating now. And I realized that it's all about not waiting for this new way to happen, but it's about experimenting with what it looks like, and experimenting with how to get people involved, including you. So I'd like to invite you to join me in this conversation of how to live from your wholeness, how to create the work and the life that you really want and really love. And you can do that in several ways. You can comment on this video blog below. You can have a strategic coaching conversation for free with me. The link is below. Let's get you started that way. Or another thing that you can do is join in on my Personal Power Pathway collaboration, and the link for that is below this as well. So here's to living from wholeness in 2014 and having a wonderful year in that, creating collaboration and conversation and prosperity to an extent that we couldn't even possibly imagine in our minds. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful day, and I'll talk with you soon.